Hey, it's Joe Crump. Today I'm going to talk about house flipping. I've worked with and taught thousands of investors over the past 40 years, and I've seen just about every major mistake you can make. In fact, I've made most of them myself. I also have seen the positives to flipping houses. I've taught so many entrepreneurial minded men and women these techniques who have then gone on to become real estate millionaires. House flipping has become a popular topic over the past few years with countless TV shows and online gurus painting a picture of quick profits and glamorous transformations. But there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. It's not just about buying low, renovating, and selling high. There's strategy, risk, and a whole lot of hard work and attention to detail involved. I've flipped a lot of properties over the years, and it's made me, my students, and my partners millions of dollars in profits. But I want to say upfront that I don't believe flipping properties is the best way to make money. It's a great way to get started and a great way to support yourself financially. But holding property is what makes you rich. Take a look at this video for some deal dissections and looking at the numbers on long term investments. jr4.co/done for you. But in this video, I'm going to take you through the benefits, the challenges, and most importantly, some pro tips that can make all the difference in your flipping journey. By the end of this video, you'll have a solid understanding of whether flipping houses is right for you and how to navigate this complex and rewarding process like a pro. Let's start by talking about the benefits of flipping houses, because let's be honest, these are what draw most people into the business in the first place. The first and perhaps most attractive benefit is the potential for high returns in a relatively short amount of time. Unlike traditional real estate investing, where you might see steady but slow appreciation over years, house flipping offers the possibility of making significant chunks of money within months. If you purchase the right property at the right price and manage your renovation costs efficiently, the returns can be substantial. I'm going to show you some real world numbers in a minute. There's something incredibly satisfying about turning a fixer-upper into a beautifully renovated home and selling it for a profit that might otherwise take years to accumulate in other forms of investing. But make no mistake, even though value can be added by fixing up a property, sometimes significant value, the most value, is added when you buy the property. You have to buy it right, and that takes skill. Another major benefit is the flexibility that flipping offers. Unlike 9 to 5 jobs, flipping houses allows you to set your own schedule. You can choose projects that fit your timeline and lifestyle, whether that means working on one flip at a time or juggling multiple projects if you're a multitasker. Or you learn how to set up automated systems and outsource the work. That's how I do it. Automation changes everything. This flexibility can also extend to where you work. Many flippers enjoy the ability to work from home or remotely oversee projects, allowing them to balance work with other life priorities, like being with your family, having fun, taking vacations, giving back to your community, or whatever you find worthwhile. I know it's an unbelievable meme, but you really can sit on your cabana on the beach and be a real estate investor as long as you have a smartphone and an internet connection. Everything can be done remotely. My life is a testament to this fact since I've been doing it remotely for almost 40 years. It's allowed me to work at home and be there to watch my kids grow up. It's allowed me to take them on overseas vacations every year. It's allowed me time to follow my heart as a writer and an artist and a filmmaker. Additionally, there's the creative and personal satisfaction that comes with flipping. If you have a knack for design or a passion for transforming spaces, flipping can be incredibly fulfilling. You're not just investing in real estate, you're creating something tangible and beautiful. The transformation process, seeing a dilapidated property turn into a stunning home, can be deeply rewarding and both personally and financially. Finally, and maybe most importantly, flipping can be a great stepping stone into broader real estate investing. The experience you gain from flipping can open up doors to other opportunities in the real estate market, such as rental properties, development projects, or even starting your own real estate investment company. It's a dynamic, fast paced business that can serve as a solid foundation for a career in real estate. And you can start with very little money and very little risk if you use the techniques I teach. If you'd like more information about some of the different techniques I use, go to my blog. There are over 1,000 free training videos there. While you're there, sign up for my free email newsletter. Go to joecrumpblog.com. Now, as with any high reward endeavor, house flipping comes with its fair share of challenges and risks. And it's important to go into this business with your eyes wide open because while the profits can be great, the potential for loss is also real. Remember, the more you put on the line, the more you have at risk. That includes both your money and your credit. If you don't put money into the deal and don't use your credit to borrow money, your risk will drop to almost zero. Here's a video on how to invest with no money and buy $1 million in real estate in 2 years. There's a link to it. I call this the Millionaire Matrix. One of the biggest challenges in flipping is managing renovation costs. It's easy to underestimate the expenses involved in bringing a property up to market standards, especially if you encounter unexpected issues like structural problems, mold, or outdated plumbing and electrical systems. These kinds of surprises can quickly blow your budget and eat into your profits. That's why having a solid, realistic renovation plan and a contingency budget is crucial. Another significant risk is the fluctuation of the real estate market. Market conditions can change rapidly due to economic shifts, changes in interest rates, or even seasonal factors. A property that seemed like a great deal when you bought it could end up being hard to sell if the market turns south. You might find yourself in a situation where you have to lower your asking price just to offload the property, which can drastically reduce your profit margins or even cause a loss of your capital. Where you invest makes a difference. Some areas are better than others, depending on whether you're flipping or holding. Most of my mentor students invest in areas they don't live. They invest remotely. They do this because we look for prime areas to invest, and those areas are constantly changing. I also help them determine, based on their experience level, which areas might be best for them. We've had success in high-end markets and low-end markets, appreciating markets and depreciating markets. There's always a way to make money in a market if you know what you're doing. But there's no reason shouldn't pick the market based on what you're trying to accomplish, and that just takes some analysis. There's also the issue of time. Time creates risk. Flipping a house isn't a quick process. It requires careful planning, coordination with contractors, and sometimes dealing with delays. If your project drags on longer than expected, holding costs like mortgage payments, property taxes, and utilities can start to pile up, further cutting into your profits. Additionally, selling the property can sometimes be more challenging than anticipated. Even in a hot market, there's no guarantee that buyers will be interested in your property. The longer it sits on the market, the more it costs you in holding expenses. Finally, the emotional toll shouldn't be underestimated. Flipping houses can be stressful. There's a lot of money on the line, and things don't always go as planned. Like Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. So, from dealing with difficult contractors to managing the financial pressures, it's a business that requires resilience and the ability to keep a cool head under pressure. Frankly, I think this is a good thing, not a negative. You learn how to be an entrepreneur when you flip houses. It makes you smart, resilient, able to think on your feet, and able to deal with just about anything that comes your way. It also teaches you how to speak persuasively, a skill that everyone needs to learn in any field and endeavor. So while the rewards of flipping can be substantial, it's essential to weigh these against the potential challenges and risks. The key is preparation and education, doing your homework, having a solid plan, and being ready to adapt if things don't go as expected. Having someone walk you through the process can help too. I have a 6-month mentor program where I take you by the hand and walk you through deals like these step by step. You can check it out at zerodowninvesting.com. With the benefits and challenges in mind, let's move on to the practical steps you need to take to successfully flip a house. This is where your preparation and strategy really come into play. The first step in any successful flip is understanding the market you're buying into. This means doing thorough research on local real estate trends, including the types of properties that are selling, the average time homes stay on the market, and the price points that buyers are willing to pay. A good flip starts with finding the right property at the right location. Focus on neighborhoods that are up and coming or have a high potential for appreciation. Look for properties that are undervalued but have the potential to be transformed into desirable homes. My students and I use a marketing system I created called the Push Button Auto Marketer. This system is a comprehensive automated marketing system for finding, nurturing, and converting motivated sellers. You can find out more about it at pushbuttonautomarketer.com. Before you even start looking at properties, you need to have a clear budget in mind. This includes not only the purchase price of the property, but also the costs of renovation, holding costs like mortgage payments and property taxes, and a contingency fund for unexpected expenses. Once you've set your budget, it's crucial to stick to it. It's easy to get carried away with renovations, but every dollar you spend eats into your potential profits. When I first started in the business, I did the work to my rehabs myself. This saved me a substantial amount of money, and it made it possible to make mistakes and still come out whole. If you hire a contractor to do the work, set up proper checks and balances to make sure the work is done properly. This is where most newbie flippers screw it up. They hire the wrong guy. Don't hire them just because you like them. And make sure you have a solid contract that allows you to fire them without consequence if they screw things up or don't follow through properly. One of the biggest lessons I had to learn was how to fire people faster if they weren't doing the work. It'll drain you dry if you keep them around. When you're ready to buy, look for properties that meet your criteria. Typically, these will be homes that are structurally sound, but in need of cosmetic upgrades. Avoid properties with major structural issues unless you have the experience and budget to handle extensive repairs. Get a thorough inspection to understand exactly what you're dealing with and avoid any nasty surprises later on. But with that said, some of my best deals have been with houses that have structural problems. I remember a house that had a rotted beam holding up the house, right down the middle of the house, and the whole house was sagging by 3 inches. It looked like it was going to fall down. We jacked up the house, replaced the rotted beam with a steel beam for $2,000. That little repair that scared everyone else made me tens of thousands of dollars in profit because I was able to get such a good price when we bought. Most of the training I do on my coaching calls with my mentor students focuses on finding and putting deals together. Once you understand what a good deal is, where to find them, how to make offers on them, and how to get them financed, your life becomes much, much easier. That's why we spend so much time on this stuff. Nearly every coaching call, we focus on deals my students bring to the table and help them work through the most optimal way of doing them. And yes, sometimes that means saying, no, that deal won't work. That's the beauty of a mastermind group, someplace you can bounce deals and ideas off other investors to see if you're missing anything. Once you've purchased a property, the next step is to plan your renovations. Focus on high impact areas like the kitchen, bathroom, curb appeal. These are the features that sell houses. This isn't rocket science, and you probably learned these things by watching Flip This Property shows. I suggest you look at model homes and see what they're putting into their houses. Builders usually have a pretty good handle on what buyers are looking for in amenities today. Create a detailed renovation plan with timelines and budgets and work closely with your contractor to ensure everything stays on track. Remember, the goal is to create a home that appeals to the widest range of buyers, so keep your renovations neutral and in line with the neighborhood standards. I want to point out one thing here. Rehabs can be a lot of work and can be risky. All these things I'm laying out might seem intimidating, even though they can be very profitable if you do them right. You might want to use some other investing techniques before you start using your credit and your capital. Doing this will teach you what a good deal is and how to make money with less risk. I teach my new mentor students a method I call the for rent method. You can watch this video about an alternate method for investing that's almost zero risk. Here's a link to the for rent method. Time is money in the flipping game, so it's essential to manage your project efficiently. Stay on top of your contractor, keep the project moving forward, and be prepared to make quick decisions if unexpected issues arise. Regular site visits and clear communication with your team will help keep the project on track. Learning how to automate the process is vital if you want to be able to do it consistently over and over again. I teach these rules. Number one, automate everything. Number two, eliminate everything you can't automate. And number three, outsource everything you can't eliminate. I use my automarketer system to do all this for me. This allows me to extract myself from the day-to-day business and allow it to run without me. Remember, you want to work on your business, not in your business. Systems are the key that make it possible for you to do this. For the details on how I do it, go to pushbuttonautomarketer.com. When renovations are complete, it's time to sell. Some types of investing we do make us cash income when we buy, but selling is where you make the chunks of cash when you flip. You can hire a real estate agent to help you get it sold, or you can try to sell it yourself. There are a lot of resources that make it easier to sell without agents these days, including Zillow, Avail.co, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and others. Learn how to set a realistic asking price based on comparable sales in the area and make sure the property is marketed effectively. High quality photos, virtual tours, open houses can make a big difference in attracting buyers. And most importantly, make sure your leads are followed up on quickly and responsibly. I've seen so many sellers who don't return buyer lead calls. It's crazy. All right, so that's a complete overview of how to flip properties without losing your shirt. If you found this video helpful and would like me to make more of them, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with anyone who might benefit. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more tips and strategies on real estate investing. You can also subscribe to my free email newsletter. I send out information, tips, and deals to this list that I don't send out to anyone else. Just go to my blog to sign up at joecrumpblog.com. When you're on my blog, you can explore over 1,000 training videos I've created, and it's all free. I've been doing this a long time. You can also watch a few hundred case studies of my past students, many of whom are now multimillionaires. They don't just tell you how wonderful I am. They tell you how they made money, how they structured their deals, how long it took, the struggles they faced, and the successes they had. They always inspire me and make me remember why I got into this business. One last thing I always like to leave you with. As an investor, you should always try to be the most ethical person in the room. Take care of your buyers and sellers and employees like they were your family. All right, take care.